There are two current standalone DTaP vaccine, Infanrix and DAP. Both were licensed based on a trial in which DTP was used as a control. They were both routinely recommended by this committee within about 2 to 3 months of their licensure, hence again the clinical trial being really important. And in 2014, SAGE, which is the committee that related to immunizations that advises WHO, conducted a systematic review actually with regards to DTP and mortality. And what they found is that, quote, the majority of studies indicated a deleterious effect of DTP on mortality. However, what SAGE concluded was that those studies are not going to be relied upon to conclude that DTP actually does increase mortality, because they raised 3 concerns. They said that those studies, despite the fact that a majority of them did show that DTP increased overall mortality, while it may have reduced deaths from diphtheria, tetanus, pertussis, the kids getting the vaccine died overall at a higher rate than the children who didn't. It said that those studies were conducted, number one, in an environment with children also got OPV vaccine. Number 2, long after the vaccine was introduced. And 3, and hence, you know, what they would call a post-elimination environment, though, put that terminology aside. And 3, that they weren't randomized. And so another trial was a study, was conducted, if we can go to the next slide, please, in 2017, actually to specifically address those limitations brought up by SAGE. This was a trial conducted by Dr. Peter Abe and a group of scientists who I understand are highly regarded in the world of vaccinology. And what they did is they said, okay, let's see if we can construct a study that avoids those limitations. So in Guinea-Bissau, in the Badao Clinic, they went back and they looked at when they first introduced DTP vaccine. And these are the, this is the group that actually was bringing vaccines to Guinea-Bissau, to other, and so they certainly were trying to promote vaccines, not the other way around. And they went back and they looked at their data, and what they found is that, well, before I get to what they found, is that they went to when it was first introduced. So that first avoided the post-elimination environment issue. Second, they only compared children that got TTP and no other vaccines with children that got no DTP. And third, the vaccination was given based on birthdays, which is considered an acceptable form of randomization. So they specifically conducted a study that would directly address the 3 limitations that the SAGE brought up. And what they found was that, quote, vaccination with DTP vaccine the first 3 to 5 months of age was associated with a 10-fold higher mortality rate compared to unvaccinated infants. So that means that the vaccinated children died at 10 times the rate as the unvaccinated children, and vaccinated in this instance means just DTP, to be clear. Unvaccinated means no vaccines. The article concludes, all currently available evidence suggests that DTP vaccine may kill more children from other causes than it saves from diphtheria, tetanus, and pertussis. I bring this up. Obviously, DTP is not really relevant to the U.S. It's not relevant to the U.S. It's been phased out in the 1990s. But to point out that this is the vaccine used as the control, as the baseline of safety to license DTaP vaccine. Which, by the way, would have been appropriate if DTP vaccine had been properly licensed. And maybe had it been properly licensed with a randomized, blinded, double-blind, placebo-controlled trial of sufficient duration and power, it would have found this very issue before it was even licensed.